What's up guys, back in today with another reaction to the Berserk manga. This time I'll be reacting to chapter 1 of Nosferatu Zodd. Pretty sure we're on volume 5. Last chapter, it was more kind of bonding for the Band of Hawk. Less bonding than we have seen in the before chapters, a lot more kind of battling actually. But still some nice kind of bonding scenes at the end here, wasn't there? With, unfortunately not too much with Casca. There's almost seeing more of the dynamics between the characters at this point. Seeing the Casca, Griffith, Guts dynamic, seeing them get their titles. Yeah, it wasn't my favourite couple chapters in the last reaction, but I have a feeling I've been very much looking forward to these at my own time. Personally, I did want to record this yesterday, but decided against it. Decided I'd do it on the day I do release it, just because then when I talk about it tomorrow, it would be all sorts of confusing. But we'll get started looking at the Bahelit, however you pronounce it. It was a crimson-like drop of blood. Nosferatu Zodd, chapter 1. I think this, you can tell by the size of the scroller, this chapter is really short, so I'm going to do 2 chapters today just because again I've got weekly Classroom of the Elite reaction I've got to do, not too long away now. So I'm just going to do the 2 chapters, but if they're going to continue to be this short, I might end up doing more than 2 chapters, more than I usually do. But it ends up being about the same. I bought this from an old gypsy fortune teller ages ago, the Bahelit, also called the Egg of the King. You see, it's said that whoever possesses this is destined to obtain the world in exchange for its own flesh and blood. The world? The world. I will get my own kingdom. That's taking it very lightly. A kingdom. A kingdom, the world. I mean, they're both the same thing in terms of meaning, aren't they? Meaning your own dream, your own desire. Your biggest desire. But in terms of scale, they are different. That's what he said 3 years ago. That's a cool shot, isn't it? Thunder coming down. I love that we can see like the other side of the mask. Never really get a shot like this at all, do we? Just the absolute seriousness on his face. Hardly ever see him like this. I can't wait to see some of the looks he makes later on, with those kind of evil looks towards the people that kind of conspire against him. Can't wait to see some of those. But this is a really awesome shot, isn't it? You know, it almost looks like the scales of a dragon as well, with these, or a lizard, or a bird, but more like a lizard kind of scales with the suit of armor almost. He's starting another battle. Again, I still, even in manga form, I still don't really care for these battles all that much. I much more care about the meaning of stuff rather than the animation. Don't get me wrong, I love nice animation like Demon Slayer and One Punch Man Season 1, for example. But I think I mentioned this last episode. Season 2 of One Punch Man I can very much get behind as well, because the story is very good. The animation isn't that great. Like the fight scenes aren't nearly as good as they were. But because the story's good, I don't really care that much. Whereas if the story's bad, the animation's really good, I kind of do care. If the story's passable and the animation's really nice, though, it's still good. With this, the drawings, again, very, very nice. Much better than any of the fight scenes we get like this in any of the anime or movie. But still, I don't really care all that much for these fights, because there's not that much behind them. The stuff around it, I really love. The character developments and the interactions I really love, but I guess you've got to go through this to actually get to those moments, I guess. Reporting! We seem to have just about finished taking the enemy fortress. And the enemy leader? No, not yet. Presently, Captain Guts's raiders are laying siege to the inner citadel. But the enemy has a remarkable soldier. He's holding back the breach. 1 man? That's just pathetic. Just one? Zodd. Oh, this is this moment. Oh, I see. So yeah, you can forget what I said. You can forget what I said. I didn't expect it to be this quickly, although that's very stupid considering the name of the title, isn't it? Actually, I thought we might have one more kind of filler kind of battle before we got to the Zodd bit, but I think that kind of explains it in itself, doesn't it? The start of all these battles, I can't really tell which one's which. They're very similar, a lot of them. The only real different ones are the ones against Zodd here and the one against the Purple Rhino Knights. There's a few against that Bismarck geezer, I think his name is. I don't think it's Bismarck, it's Korboltwitz, that's the one. Korboltwitz. Which I've read it. I think they're the last chapters I've read, to be fair. The Korboltwitz. Some of the Korboltwitz ones. Zodd. Jadao, you don't mean? I caught wind of a strange rumour before this battle, that Nosferatu Zodd had been added to the enemy forces. Nosferatu Zodd? Now, the name I know Nosferatu from, I haven't actually seen the movie, but it's from a very old vampire movie called Nosferatu. Seen a few clips. I never watched it. Again, I heard a lot about kind of horror from what's his name? Cinemassacre. Not Cinemassacre. Angry Video Game Nerd. Was a big fan of him back in the day. Big fan. Who's that? You don't know, Pippin? Among mercenaries, Nosferatu Zodd is a legendary swordsman. They say he's killed hundreds, if not thousands, of men on the battlefield. But that's not the only reason why Zodd is feared. This is quite interesting, because is this before he turns into a demon, or do you reckon this is still talking about his demon self? Because something similar happened in the movie where Skull Knight was brought up, and it was before he turned into a demon per se. I'm not really sure you can call Skull Knight a demon. He's more of bones more than anything, rather than demon. Although I guess it's classed as the same thing. I'm not really sure. But yeah, do you reckon these what he's heard about him was him as a human, or him after he turned into a demon? Because again, motherfucker's Skull Knight was being talked about even as a human, which is badass as fuck in my opinion. I love Skull Knight. I love it even more now. We got a little bit of a glimpse of what he was like as a human, as in the third movie. That done wonders for him in my book. And I've only ever actually consumed like about 5 minutes of Skull Knight, so hoping for more down the line as well. But they two have a bit of a rivalry, don't they? Zodd and Skull Knight, I think. Every time a rumour goes around that he's dead, he always shows up again in some other battle. And the unbelievable thing is, people have been telling war stories about him close to 100 years. He's immortal. That's why Zodd's called Nosferatu. Oh, I see. So that's not his actual name. So his name is Zodd. But Nosferatu's a nickname. Does that mean that Nosferatu is kind of like a popular vampire thing even back in these days? I can't remember what Nosferatu translates to. I think it might translate to the first of the vampires, but I'm probably very wrong about that. I will look up Nosferatu. Oh, it literally just means vampire, I think. Yeah, I think it literally just means vampire. But I think in the movie Nosferatu, he was the first vampire. But I could just be pulling that out my ass, to be honest with you. So that's a cool shot, isn't it? Zodd looks slightly different here, doesn't he? Not quite as beastly. That serious face from Griffith again. I think he understands what the task is. Hey! Don't tell me you actually believe that fairy tale. Come on, little Rickert. But there are some mercenaries who revere Zodd as a battlefield god. Nice rhyme. Something tells me if Guts ran into him, he'd go charging headlong like a madman. I suppose Griffith might be thinking about that as well. This can't turn out good. Yeah, I wonder who's saying that. Probably everyone. It really can't, though, can it? On the face of things. Stupid bastards! Let me go! Gaston! No way, Captain. You guys help me. Stop him. You guys help me. Stop him. I can't let you do it. No way I can let you go in alone. A little longer. Let's just wait a little longer. It's already been a whole hour, you arse. We sent almost 50 men in there and no one's come out. Let me go now. Now let her go of me, sorry. These faces. These struggling faces. Then we should ask Boss Griffith for Rian. You try it and I'll kill you. It's one man, a single man, a single enemy got all 500 of the band of the Hawk's raiders stuck like nails in a wall. You ever heard of anything so humiliating? It's quite funny you say that, Guts, because you're almost in a similar position as this Nosferatu Zodd, stopping a lot of people at once and being that kind of that man that kind of wedges the gap. Yeah, you're so embarrassed when the shoe's on the other foot. Quite funny, isn't it? Ah! Get him! Oh my god, this guy is brutalised. Oh, that's him there stumbling out. This guy is brutalised. Catch him? You guys are all running away. Oh, look, you can see his rib cage, I think. But damn. Guy's got a nose like me as well. Dillos! Dillos! Zodd. Nosferatu. Zodd. That rumour really was true. Hey, this is big trouble. Poor guy, man. Poor guy. You can tell by that face right there, Guts is pissed off. How much he cares for his man. Okay, if he's brutalised, we saw everyone a minute ago run away from this guy. He was brutalised, but Guts embraces him. Let's go, man. Let's go. Let's get me rolled up. Hold on, Captain. Just because, again, Guts has had so little intimacy with anyone and such a little connection. It's almost a bit emotional seeing Guts get emotional and affected by the death of one of his men. Because you'd never expect this as a thing to happen to him. I mean, it was in the younger days. Having this many comrades and this many people to look after and this many people looking after him as well. Holding him back from perhaps certain death. Keep back. Nobody come with me. I'm killing him alone. And we enter. Captain. Oh my god. So much brutalization here. Jesus Christ. This guy's head's fucking rolling down. See if we can catch some stuff right here. Oh, nice, nice. So I can actually just use this to zoom in if I need to, rather than go back and... I don't think I can quite control where it's aimed though. I've been hoping to be able to zoom in a bit this whole time. Lots of beheadings. This guy's whole body is obviously... I'm not sure where the other part is. Yeah, I'm not sure where the other half of this body is. Maybe up there. There's another set of legs there. Some guts. Some more guts. This is what I was hoping for, but I was talking about before. Hopefully seeing some more of the actual insides of these people. As again, as fucked up as that sounds. Just to get a little bit more gross. And we're seeing it now a little bit. Seeing these insides, and pretty sure there is lungs right there. There's this guy's guts. Most of the time we see stuff like this, don't we? Just a load of blood. Captain. Look at these guys. They love the eyeballs though, that's one thing I'll give them. They're really good with the eyeballs. The eyeball gore. What's with these corpses? Men in full armour torn apart like ragdolls. It feels like something incredibly strong blew right through them. Yeah, I did just pause for a second. This episode probably will be about 35-40 minutes, I think. So it should be okay, but again, a little bit shorter than what it will be tomorrow, I think. Again, depends on how long the chapters are tomorrow, but yeah, I just had a little pause to have a look. Yeah, someone's floating in the air right here. Oh god, oh my god. We got another big shot right after this, but wow. Wow. This is sick. Sick, both really good and disgusting as hell. Look at this motherfucker's face. This guy's face is literally like piercing out of the fucking... A lot of these faces are, to be honest, aren't they? Like piercing out of the screen. This guy is clearly the most normal looking person here. Actually, this guy probably is. Look at this, man. Like, you know, you've died a horrible death when you have a face like that on you as your kind of final face, gaping open with teeth exposed like that. Even though you're in shock like a motherfucker. Look at this, man. Just a pile of bodies. I almost want to kind of 360 this as well, but I'm not sure how. Guy's face is pretty much a skull already. This guy's face is just creepy as fuck, isn't it? This one down here at the left. Yeah, I'm kind of wondering what's going on with this face right here. Like, I'm not really sure. Almost looks like a bit like a lion. Wow, that was certainly a shot. And here it is. Oh my god. So that's where those bodies are. Right behind the two dead soldiers on Nosferatu's Zodd sword. He does look slightly different here, doesn't he? He does look slightly different. Less beastly. I mean, we know he has kind of changed form a little bit, but even as in his kind of original form we see in the anime, he looked a little bit more beastly. Look at this, man. He's just got his hands right in that guy's face. That's fucked. Guy's head. This guy, again, just absolute terror and pain on his face when you die. You know, again, you know that's when you had a bad death. This guy looks crazed. This guy looks crazed as well. Oh my god. What's up here? What is this? Like, what is that? Some assortment of body, eyeball, face stuff. Who knows? But all of these, again, almost all of these guys died with their eyes wide open in absolute shock. Scary, isn't it? But that is a fucking badass shot. No penis. Just a smooth. Just a smoothness. Quite surprised there's not been any kind of nudity like that yet. Oh shit. His gut's absolutely pissed. Imagine seeing your soldier's faces like that, all splattered all over. Literally piled up. You would go ham, wouldn't you? Especially if there were some of your first friends, some of your first comrades. Let's go, guts. I love these moving shots as well with the kind of drawn in lines like this. Again, it really adds that dynamic of like moving upwards and just adding a bit of motion to the scene. He chucks the dead soldiers at him. Wow. I don't really remember this fight all that well. It was quite brief in the movie, I think. Reasonably brief. With the stuff beforehand. It cut a lot of stuff beforehand. Look at his face now. What the fuck have you done? You're throwing men at me? See, now he looks a little bit more beastly. This looks like he's got a couple of balls on his head. Big ball sack. What? Nosferatu Zodd 1 end. What the hell is this? And we'll go straight to the next one. Another badass fucking open and shot right here. Those teeth. You weren't sure as a demon before, you're pretty damn sure now, aren't you? Number 2. This one is again reasonably short, which is a shame. But again, quite handy for me for today. Still got that guy in his hands. Poor guy. If he's still alive, very much poor guy. Although I can't see his lower half of his body, so maybe not. Maybe he's not alive. Oh, imagine how intimidating that'd be, man. I mean, not just stand up to this guy. Stand up to this guy would be intimidating enough, but you then look behind him and have a glance and you're like, oh my god, there's 100 dead bodies just staring at me behind him. That's some fucked up shit. What the hell is this? Got guts sweating. Dude hasn't even thrown a blow yet and he's sweating. Nice little toes. You guys with the foot fetishes. You parried that strike well, boy. What strike? I didn't see a strike. I saw him throw a couple of dead bodies at him. I didn't see any strike. What's this? This overpowering sense that's got me tied up. There's that classic sword as well. Pretty much the same size as Guts's, isn't it? Bit wider as he goes in for the attack. Jeez, man, he's already at Guts before he fucking had a chance to swing his sword yet. Guts is obviously taken by surprise on that. He's just able to deflect off his hilt, I think it's called. I could be wrong there, probably. And you can see how much fucking power's in it. His leg going all the way to the ground like this. It's hard to get your leg to the ground like that. It's a workout I've been trying to do by myself actually, because I've got a bit of a tendon problem just below my knee. I've been doing stretches like this, actually trying to get it lower down than my foot, put my foot up on something and then trying to get my knee lower. But it takes a hell of a lot of stress and effort to put your leg on the ground like that. And imagine during a sword fight, you really wouldn't want put that much stress and you have your legs that low, otherwise you won't. Well, I guess you kind of bounce off, but it just shows how much kind of power you've taken. You're going that low, how much impact you've got to kind of embrace, kind of move to the ground, redirect, I should say. He swings again, cutting off a few of Guts' hairs. What? What is this? What is the way he's swinging this sword? Wow, kind of hard to read, to be honest. It's kind of not, but is he like swinging it like this, and then going back and then swinging it back like that. Looks like a what's it called? Pretzel. It's like the shape of a pretzel almost. We see it gets striked here on the sword, which would be the up like that. There's a lot of strikes here. Maybe that's what it's signaling. There's a lot of strikes between all this weight stuff. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's at least 4. There's one on the ground here as well. And gets hit against the pillar. Ugh. Superb. Subalashi. He's a monster. Not one man in 50 years has been able to stop my sword this long. It's taken all I've got just to do it. Sure is. Maybe you shouldn't be giving that information away though. Or maybe if you do, he might take it a little easier on you. Damn, I can't even get a swing in. He's the strongest. He's stronger than anyone I've ever crossed swords with. I was speechless at how good Griffith was. But this guy... No, I imagine maybe Guts learns a little bit from this guy. Maybe his techniques and his... Obviously you can't learn power, but the way he kind of uses his sword. Maybe he takes this into his account. Obviously he does grow by the time he faces Griffith again, but... You know, next time he does duel Griffith, he does win. So again, maybe he takes a little bit of inspiration from Nosferatu here, but you'd think Griffith would as well if that was the case. So yeah, I'm not really 100% sure. I hope you get to see as to why Guts kind of gets so much better in not exactly a short amount of time, isn't it? It's a few years at least. But I hope you get to see more of reasons why, as Guts kind of gets to overpower Griffith, as it's pretty definitive that Griffith is the most powerful right now and most skilled, as he's beat Guts every time. His power is beyond human. He's not actually that powerful for a demon in that case, then, is he? Nosferatu. Or maybe he just keeps improving as well. When you're a demon, you've definitely got time to, haven't you? What do I do? I can't stay toe to toe with him. I only parried him thanks to this broadsword. A normal sword would have been busted with one hit. So the swords alone are evenly matched. Yeah, I did mention that earlier. The swords are pretty exactly the same size and evenly matched, I guess, but the wielders aren't, are they? Surely the most important part. Oh. Mr. Nosferatu is a bit taken aback here, is he? It's a very heroic pose, isn't it? You know what? This must be really annoying at some points. This holster. Imagine you trip up on it at least sometimes, like step on it by accident, and then try and move, and then it kind of get pulled under your foot. I could very much see that happening to me. No. Oh, ho, ho. So being unable to keep blocking my sword, you're going to gamble everything on one strike. I'll bet you're counting on blade length to make a difference, but will it? Your brains will be on the floor before your sword can touch me. One chance. Interesting. I accept. Just one chance. The smart decision, isn't it? Because he keeps taking those hits. Both his body will be worn down and his sword will be worn down, so it'll just be an inevitable loss, won't it? That is the smart choice here. Risk it all. And very much in line with Guts' character, of course. Okay, that's a calm face right there from Guts, as opposed to what we see from the hundreds of dead bodies behind this guy whose faces are like this, again, with their eyes wide open. Just the difference between him and his men. The first one. Nosferatu, a little bit pissed by that, I think. And hard to tell what's going on here. They're both the swords. I think this is Nosferatu's sword and this is Guts. And then Guts' sword being dragged away. Ooh! Is that a sword right there? Did he knock it out? Boy! Oh, he sliced him! Let's go, Guts. We got him. Very minimal damage, but something. Ugh! Oh no, he actually cut the sword off. Fucking hell. Ah, I see. So that's why there was that. I was kind of wondering what the hell this was. What that was and what this was, and why there was just nothing in between. But I guess that's where the hole was, that he cut the sword in half. Okay. Ugh. No. Got him. Wait. No, don't worry. Oh, he got his arm as well. Guess he's just having to use that to protect. But look how pissed Nosferatu is. He just fucking uses his hand. What a surprise! After being pushed back that far, I never thought you'd try to break my sword. You're the first. The first human ever to drive a sword this deep into my body. First ever. Look at that fucking... That's an intimidating shot right there, isn't it? Almost reminds me a little bit of Mob Psycho. Obviously, I think Mob Psycho probably get the inspiration from this, but reminds me a little bit of those kind of scenes where it just goes absolute rage and they're just hype as fuck. Can't really read the face, but you know what's going on when it's pitch black like that. Eyes shining, hair flowing. Oh my god, we're almost finished. I was looking. Where the hell is it? where's the scroll tab? Right at the bottom, for fuck's sake. Griffith hasn't even entered yet. I guess we can save that for next time though. But that's a fucking sick shot, isn't it? It's kind of steam coming off the body like that. If you were a villain, that's how you'd want to be introduced. That's all I'll say. It looks even more animalistic in this one now, doesn't he? Gets even more. It looks even more like an animal as this fight goes on. And here's the kind of transformation. The first human ever to drive a sword this deep into my body. Look at that. This is the face that those motherfuckers died with. That I was talking about. Eyes wide open, teeth wide open, kind of clenched. This is how all those 100+ soldiers died beforehand, looking like this. In these past 300 years of slaughter. And that's where we end. That was a couple of sick chapters, wasn't it? That was a couple of sick chapters. A lot of really awesome artwork in there. But yeah, kind of hairy all over now. Got the horns. And again, just so intimidating looking at Griffith's size, Guts' size in comparison to this. This dude's foot is almost up to Guts' knee. Jesus Christ. If he did have a penis, he'd probably just have a boner and fucking knock Guts' head off, couldn't he? But that is where we're going to end it off for today. Again, apologies, a little bit short, but again, I've got weekly anime I'll be watching today. But again, there were so many awesome shorts today, wasn't there? I think especially in the last chapter, I really liked some of the detail in the dead bodies that were behind Nosferatu. I'll go back in a second. Out of this one, I think my favourite shots were probably the end ones, to be honest. This one was really good, but probably the end one more than anything. Yeah, these ones here, this panel right here, and obviously this one as well. But I think my absolute favourites from these chapters were in this chapter. This scene was really cool. Like, this scene, pretty much for every scene onwards, was fucking awesome, wasn't it? In this chapter. This one was just brutal, and then we got this right afterwards as well. Fucking hell. Gonna be another struggle to pick a thumbnail. This one as well, Guts looking absolutely pissed. There's so many sick panels today, wasn't there? But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about these couple chapters in the comment section. Again, apologies, they're a bit shorter than usual, but we'll be about the same time next week. I think that will be the way forward as well. I'm not sure what's going to be happening with the new schedule. I will have two. Okay, with the new schedule, I'll actually be changing up when I watch Berserk. So after October, I'll be not watching it on Mondays anymore. I'll be watching on Tuesdays still with Sket Dance. So I won't have any Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I'll actually be watching Berserk and Sket Dance on the same day on Tuesdays and Thursdays, which means that I won't have to worry about weekly anime, thank God. On the day I release Berserk, so I can have it as long as I want to record. Again, it'll probably be most likely 40 minutes to about an hour, maybe an hour 15 tops, just because I don't really want to spend too long on the videos. It takes absolute ages to upload. Obviously it depends on how I'm feeling at the time as well, but yeah, after October there won't be any kind of shorter videos like this one, I don't believe. But yeah, anyway, let me know what you guys thought about these chapters down in the comment section. Some absolutely fucking brilliant chapters in my opinion. Again, the artwork was some of the best we've seen for a little while. Leave a like on the video if you guys did like the video, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date with these reactions. As I did say, after October I'll be back on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but for now I'll be doing it's still on Mondays and Tuesdays. So hopefully you join me tomorrow, and enjoy the rest of your day, guys.